So, hi there everybody, great to be with you all again. It's lovely to be live and to see you all. So, hi there Manisco and hi to Sergey. Okay, switch off duties and have a rest. I'm glad you find it relaxing. Let's see. So, it looks like we've just got Sergey and Manisco. And Patricia as well. The lovely Patricia. Hi P, lovely to have you. Okay, next stream will be on Thursday the 1st of August at 3:30 p.m. UK time. It's a roasting hot day here today. I think we're going to have 34 degrees, something like that, which is unusually hot, so I'm suffering. Okay, this article was about fermented foods. Hi Oksana. So we've got this article about fermented foods, and what you need to do is choose the best word for the for the gap. So hi Julia as well. So is that just Sergey who has sound problems, or anyone else as well? Hi Renyard, hi Katya, lovely to see you. So, yeah, my ping's alright, it's not brilliant but it's not too bad. Despite fermentation, excluding, deleting, erasing, eliminating the need for chemical preservatives, researchers at King's College London recently found additives in almost 1/3 of the fermented food products they tested from UK supermarkets. I think it's you alone, Sergey. Hear me funnily. I'm wondering which. No, it should be all right. It looks all right from here. Now that's not so good. But the connection as well. Okay. Scramble sound from your mic. Do I only hear a crackling sound? Scramble sound. Okay, so let's change this then. I'm going to go somewhere else. Give me 1 second and I will change the connection, but this will take me 1 second. Wait. Okay, I've now connected on a different connection. Whoops, bear with me 1 second. So, let's see, is that okay? Is that any better? If it's not, there's little more I can do. Okay. So, hi to all of you, I'm back. So, I hope this is better. Same outcome. A word to describe distorted sound. Poof. There's noise on the line. The show must go on. Okay. So, despite fermentation, excluding, deleting, erasing, eliminating the need for chemical preservatives, researchers at King's College, so eliminating very definitely. Same distorted sound. The sound has not become any better. Obviating is a good word. Eliminating. Then I've reduced my ping from 50 to 9. It's called static. Okay, there's static in the line. Let's focus on the lesson, definitely. So, eliminating the need. To eliminate the need. Okay, to eliminate the need for, to exclude the need for, excluding the need for. Normally to exclude is to keep something out. You exclude somebody from a place, from a club, from a school, for example. You delete or erase information. Okay, so eliminating the need. Let's go on. Hi, Juan Kurd. Great to have you. And here we go again. Process is the last word. These additives, including salt, sugar and artificial sweeteners, are within legal guidelines, instructions, blueprints, advice. But it does mean that some are technically classified as ultra-processed. So I've missed saying hello to lots of people. Hi to Nina, hi to Believe, hi to White Stripes, hi to Renyard, hi to Katia and Lionheart. So, are within the legal guidelines, instructions, blueprints, advice. We've got guidelines from Believe, from White Stripes, from Oksana, from Nina, from Julia. We've got guidelines from Lionheart and Sergey and Renyard. Guidelines from Luis Vázquez as well. Absolutely. Within legal guidelines. Instructions is something much more general. Yeah. Okay, within a blueprint is the design for a building or a machine. Guidelines, definitely. Guidelines are what they tell you, what they recommend. Okay, a guideline is not necessarily, it's telling you what you should be doing. It's more like advice, but they use the word guidelines. So, are fermented foods actually good for our health, or just another ultra-processed food we should be avoiding, averting, shirking, escaping? Roadmaps, yeah, a roadmap, the British, within a legal framework. So we got avoiding for Sergey and Believe, avoiding for Julia. Okay, avoiding for Renyard. Avoiding for Nina. Avoiding for Patricia. Avoid for White Stripes as well. Okay, let's see. To avert is to stop something bad from happening. Avoided from Oksana. You avert a disaster. To avert is to turn aside. Avoiding for Katia. Shirking talks about to avoid doing work. To avoid taking your responsibility. And escaping, you escape from a place. No, this is something that we should be avoiding. Is it another ultra-processed food we should be avoiding? Okay, one consequence of fermenting foods is that it can change bioavailability. Which means how much of our bodies are able to engage, occupy, absorb, draw, and benefit from the nutrients in a particular food. Avoiding from Luis Vázquez. So, I just call you Luis. Are able to absorb from Sergey, absorb from Oksana, absorb from Julia, absorb from Luis, absorb from White Stripes, absorb from Katia. So to engage, normally to engage like this, you engage somebody in conversation. Absorb from Manisko, absorb from Nina. To occupy is when you're busy. To absorb, yes, to draw from the food, to draw out of the food, to absorb. So we've got absorb for Patricia and for Renyard as well. Renyard, I was thinking of static or noise on the line. Noise on the line. I think it's probably noise on the line. And it's only very recently that we've begun to understand the potential health aids, benefits, profits, sakes of fermentation. Okay, this is easy today, isn't it? So it's only very recently we've begun to understand the potential health aids. So an aid is something that helps you do something. Benefit is something positive. Profit is money. And sake talks about the reason. Static. Good, Renyard. So, benefits for Sergei, Nina, Manisko, Katya. Benefits for Julia and White Stripes. Yes. Okay, so an aid is something that helps you do something, to aid. Benefits for White Stripes and Oksana. Benefits for Renyard as well. Sake, purpose, or the reason behind it. So, I don't know. For the sake of your health, stop drinking. Benefits. Juan Kurd, good to have you. So, let's continue. Ooh, this is a big one. Benefits from Lionheart as well. In the West, the recent rising interest around fermented foods can be partly traced to the growing awareness of the link between our gut microbiomes and overall health, and how our diets provide, contribute, donate, impart, assist, participate to this. G.K. Chesterton. I haven't read much G.K. Chesterton, but he's very famous in the UK. For health's sake, this does collocate. For your health's sake. Well done, Nina, with the apostrophe S. Yes. Friture, frying in French. So benefits for believe, I believe. So we've got contribute for Sergei and Oksana and Julia and Katya. Contribute to for Nina and Luis. Visual aids, financial aid. Contribute to, that's the point, Renyard. Contribute to for Patricia and believe. Provide for, normally. Donate, no, giving. Impart, assist with this, participate in this. Okay, so to contribute to, how our diets contribute to this. Fermented foods are produced. Crepitation. Crepitation is a really good word. To crepitate is a crackling sound. So I'm going to put that word, crepitation. Is when something crackles. Fermented foods are produced through controlled microbial growth or fermentation. The meltdown, breakdown, deterioration, decline, demolition of carbohydrates, such as starch and sugar, by using bacteria and yeast. So breakdown for White Stripes, breakdown for Sergei and Nina, breakdown for Katya and Julia and for Patricia. Let's see, meltdown is when something stops completely. I'm thinking of the meltdown of a nuclear reactor. But meltdown maybe somebody gets really upset and starts shouting and screaming. That could be meltdown. The economy could be in meltdown, is falling to pieces. Breakdown is good. This is talking about the breakdown of chemicals. Deterioration is to get worse, to decline, to get less, and you demolish a building. Such a difficult article. Okay, I'm sorry about that, Katya. So, breakdown for White Stripes, Sergey, Nina, Katya, Julia, Patricia, Luis for Reynard, and for Oksana as well. So it's very definitely breakdown. Breakdown. Decomposition. Whoops. Position. Yeah, the verb is to decompose. Breakdown. I think to decompose is more like rotting, whereas to break down is good, Katya. It's good to have you. So, science news. And cut. And also, the firewood sounds a decrepitating Christmas log. So, the fermentation process has many irregulars, ingredients, values, variables, such as the bacteria used and the environmental conditions, which means there are thousands of different types of fermented food. So, variables for Sergey, variables for Nina. Variables for Julia. He's decomposing, definitely. Very good. That's very good, White Stripes. So notice the composer is decomposing. I'll definitely have to use that for one of my jokes, White Stripes. Thank you. Variables for Luis, variables for Katya as well. Many variables for Lionheart. So variables, different factors that change. Yeah? Ingredients of the chemicals. Irregulars, no. Values. No, it's variables. Variables for Lionheart and White Stripes. Okay, so a variable is a thing that can change. Variables for White Stripes. I believe if you're telling Katya she can do it, yes she can. She works hard at her English, and the longer she keeps at it, the better it's going to get. Variables. Interment and internment. Interment is where your body gets buried. Internment is where you get put in a prison camp. Variable versus constant. Of marteau-piqueur, of banging hammers. I think it's a nightjar. So variables for Patricia. Some of the most well-known incorporate, include, contain, count, kimchi, kombucha, sauerkraut, tempeh, and yogurt. So, include for Nina and Sergey and Oksana. Include for Julia. Don't give up, Katya. The more you go, the better it gets. And it's not an easy thing. It's a lifetime's commitment to learn good English. And everybody here will tell you they've been learning English for years and years. Include for Reynard. Fermented products. Some of the most well-known fermented products. include. So, Patricia, contain. No, because let's see. Sauerkraut contains cabbage. Kimchi contains cabbage and chili. To incorporate is to add to the mix. Put some flour in a bowl and gently incorporate, put the eggs in and incorporate. Incorporate is mixed together. Whereas some of the most well-known include. Yeah, this is a selection of them. Account for. No, because account for is talking about a reason why. Incorporation talks about joining. This accounts for, this is a reason why. Okay, so, Okay, some of the most well-known, they include. This is giving an example of them. Okay, so most definitely include these things. Philosophical words like ontology. I've definitely got epistemology, and I think I've got teleology as well. Include, definitely. Mike Nad. Bad. Okay. So, continue. The process of fermentation can produce new bioactive compounds such as organic acids and different peptides that have different implications on our health, effects on our health, indications on our health, connections on our health, says Paul Cotter. Yeah, today the sound is shabby. I'm sorry about it. I think the best thing to do for it would be for me to reboot and see if I can change it, but it's going to take too long. Implications for, Nina. Implications for our health. Yeah? Not implications on our health. Sounds like a Geiger counter. Click, 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 click. Effects, yes. So we got effects for Sergey and Oksana and Nina. Effects for Luis and Julia and Katya. Effects for Renyard and Patricia. Effects for Believe and Manisco. Okay, so effects, very definitely. I'm going to keep going, Believe, yeah. The incessant British rain. I love the rain, by the way. The rain is definitely my element. Thank you, Manisco. Some fermented foods have been shown to be more nutrient, solid, crowded, stiff, dense, compared to their non-fermented counterparts. And some contain probiotics, which are beneficial for gut health. Okay, so dense for Oksana and White Stripes, nutrient dense for Nina and Sergey and Julia, nutrient dense for Renyard and Katya. Nutrient solid. Solid is talking about liquid, solid or gas. Crowded is talking about the number of people. A second-hand vinyl record. I think dense because it's difficult to stir, it's difficult to move. Nutrient dense for Patricia and Luis and Lionheart and Manisco. Yes, definitely nutrient dense. It's talking about density, high density. Oh, I like this next one. This next one is quite good. And fermented food can be severed, rent, slashed, split into two groups, those containing live bacteria and those with bacteria that died during production, such as some breads, beer and wine. Split for Sergey and Oksana, bifurcated. I was thinking about making a video about this. Bifurcation, split into two, I guess it works. Nutrient jam-packed, good word Patricia. Split for Julia and Nina. Hi Quinlin, split for Quinlin. Split for Katya, split for Louise, split into for Renyard, split for Patricia and Believe and Manisco. Can be broken down into two groups. I would say without the down can be broken into two groups to split. So, to sever means to cut off. Yeah? King Henry VIII severed the head of Anne Boleyn. To sever, to cut off completely. Rent. What's the infinitive of this verb rent? Divided. Yes, believe. So what's the infinitive of this rent? Very good, Katya. To rend. To rend is to break in two, to tear in two. Can be rent into two groups. Let's see, rent is very formal and rather old-fashioned. Divided into two groups. Yes, believe. Rend. Well done, Katya. Yes, of a different verb. Yes. And then to slash. Rend the air. Lightning rent the air. Thunder rent the air. Okay, to slash. To cut. Slash is normally to reduce. No, it needs to be split into two groups. Okay, and during fermentation, microbes usually nourish, forage, feed, graze on the sugar in a food, and this sugar fuels all of their biochemical reactions, Vinderola says. Slash watermelon. No, to slash, to cut backwards and forwards. I wouldn't slash a watermelon, I'd cut it in two. Severed the swordsman. So, feed for Nina, feed for Luis, feed for Sergey and Julius, feed for Oksana. They were well paid. Feed for Katya, feed for Believe, feed for White Stripes. So notice, nourish is to give food to. The microbes usually nourish themselves on. To forage is to go and look for food where you can find it in the country. To graze is to eat grass. Although I think maybe, Oksana, you possibly could use graze metaphorically. But it would be strange to graze on. I would use graze as a joke then. But no, to feed on the sugar. They eat, they feed on the sugar. Okay. And to feed on, that's the point, Renyard. To feed on means to eat. Next question, don't ask me why. Okay, yes, Oksana, but graze would work. No, you nourish yourself. Yeah? The bacteria nourish themselves, but they feed. Hi Manu, lovely to see you. So, chains for Oksana and Nina and White Stripes. Chains for Quinlin. Hey, good early morning, Manu. Chains for Julia. Chains for Luis. And I don't know the reason why this one, but it is chains of amino acids. It's not strings, it's not threads, it's not ropes. You've got chains of amino acids, yeah? A chain of amino acids. A chain is a long chain in chemicals. Chains for Katia as well. What does your dad do for a living? He cuts off heads. My daddy turns women's heads. Okay, copy. Amino acid chains. It's a collocation. The collocation you're going to have to remember. Normally chains in chemistry. I don't know why. So live bacteria in fermented foods can become brief, transient, fickle, erratic, or even permanent members of the gut microbiota when eaten, which can bring health benefits and also help to reduce the abundance of detrimental bacteria by competing against them. Yeah, they form chains, but why? Become brief for Believe, brief for Luis, transient for Nina, transient for White Stripes, transient for Julia, high ACR4, alternative. I'll think about it. Transient for Sergey. Mano goes for brief or even permanent. Transient for Oksana, transient for Lionheart, transient for Renyard. Transient for Katia. Brief members. But they're transient members. Brief is something that lasts a short time. Brief membership. Brief doesn't sound good. Let's see. Fickle is somebody who changes their opinion. They're not trustworthy. Erratic, something that goes up and down. Transient for Patricia as well. Yes, because something that's transient, it comes and it goes. And that's the point with transient. These bacteria, they come, they live for a while, and then they go. They're transient. Yeah, they go through a place and come out the other side. Temporary, definitely, Renyard. Temporary members. Yeah? Brief members, maybe. I'm not very happy with it though. Okay, let's try one more, and I think this will probably be the last for today then. Sorry about the sound quality today. So even if the fermented food doesn't have any lively life bacteria, it's still associated with some health benefits, Vinderola says. So, White Stripe says live, Nina says live, Sergey says live, so does Oksana and Katia live, Julia says live, Super Gyros says live, lovely bacteria. Well, bacteria what give milk and cheese their food. Yeah, a brief visit, a brief speech, a brief review, a brief member, not really. Here, Vindaloo says, live for Luis, live for Believe, live for Patricia, live for Lionheart. So live for Renyard, live bullets, live animals. Okay, because so alive is post-positive. For if the fermented food doesn't have any bacteria that are alive. The bacteria alive in this food. Alive is a post-positive adjective. It can't go before the verb. Alive bacteria. No. It's got to go afterwards. Any bacteria alive at the time of eating. Okay, so alive doesn't work. It's got to be live. And that's why. And that's why I quite like this question. Yeah. A live wire. A wire that is alive. A wire alive with electricity. Okay, I think that's going to be enough for today. I'm sorry about the rubbish sound quality. I love vindaloo. I love curry. I love really hot things. Hot food is something that I adore. I'm a real chili fan. Bacterias. No, bacterias. One bacterium, two bacteria. Next stream is on Thursday, which is the 1st of August at 3:30 p.m. UK time. Back to work. No, that's great. Yeah, no names, no pack drill, Sergey. So, it was lovely having you all. It's been great. This article is difficult. It's an intellectual challenge. The questions themselves are generally quite easy. But the article is very complex. To have yogurt to save the tummy. Yes, yogurt and cheese, my favourite things. So, thank you all for coming. It's been lovely having you all. So, thanks to Believe and Lionheart and Julia. Thanks to Joan Kurd. And thanks to Luis and Manisco. Thank you to Manu and Nina and Oksana. Thanks to Patricia and Renyard and Super Jayora. And thank you to Sergey and Katya and to White Stripes. So, yogur probiótico. So, pues mira, hoy Manu hace un calor de la hostia. Hi Arjun, great to have you. Don't have cheese before you go to bed. Purchase a new microphone. I'm not sure what the problem is. I'm going to see if I can resolve it. So, take care all of you, and I hope to see you all on Thursday. So, bye for now.